Are you tired of getting paid? And then a few days later, you're wondering, what happened to my money? Well, if that's you, today we're going to show you how to make an accurate
and realistic
budget. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. If you are new to our channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. My name is Al.
And I'm Therese.
And we are the Joneses. So in today's video, we're going to show you how to make an accurate and realistic budget. The first thing you need to do when making a budget is actually set goals. So before you even make a budget, make sure you set goals. Like us, some of you may know, we paid off $64,000 of debt in 28 months. Now that might not be your story, that might not be your goal. Maybe your goal is to save for a house, maybe your goal is to save for a car or save for a vacation, but make sure you have a goal. What are you trying to accomplish with this particular budget?
Yes, because I believe a goal is very important and will serve as motivation when you want to wake up one day and just bust the budget. You wake up and you're like, I just feel like going to Target, or I just feel like going to Sephora and just balling out the mall, whatever.
Yeah, or spending on your kids.
Yes.
Because there are days where you do want to just bust the budget.
Financial goals is something that will keep you centered and motivate you, and keep you disciplined when you want to.
Yeah, especially right.
Right.
After you're done setting these goals, now you actually want to put this budget on paper, or whatever method you want to use to record this budget. There are several ways you can track your budget. There's apps like Mint, Every Dollar. You can use Excel spreadsheet, or you can use old-fashioned pen and paper. I know sometimes that's easier for some people just to write it out. For us personally, we actually just use a Excel spreadsheet. Now, after you've got the method that you want to track your budget or write your budget out, the next thing you want to do is calculate and add up all your income from your household. Like my wife and I, you can check out our last video. We talked about combining finances with your spouse. We combine our finances, so we put all of our income at the top of the sheet, and then we start from there. So in order to make a budget, you first need to know how much money you actually have coming in.
Or at least an estimate.
Right. So the next thing you want to do after you've done all those things is to start tracking your expenses. We recommend going back about 3 months and tracking what you spend in what categories and how often you spend the money in those categories and how much you spend in those categories. Because that way it'll give you an accurate account of what's actually being spent, where your money is going.
I think this really helps for things that are hard to budget without knowing what you spent previously, like gas or utilities. It's hard just to pull a number out the air for what you need for gas weekly, but if you look at what you spent previously in the last month or 3 months, you'll see how much gas you actually needed to get back and forth to work and wherever you're going.
After you tracked your expenses about 3 months back, and now you see where you're spending your money, now what we like to call, or what some people like to say, is creating a zero-based budget. All that is basically you giving every single dollar, every single dime, every single penny that comes into your house,
All of them.
everything. You give everything that comes to your house a mission. You give it a name. You give it a place, and you tell it where to go.
Yes.
So with this zero-based budget, you're basically just spending all the money on paper before you actually get it. So that way, when you do get the money, you know exactly where it's going, and it already has its place. It already has its destination of where it's supposed to go. And if you have any extra money, like overtime, or if you have any side gigs, make sure you give that money a place to go, a mission. Because I know sometimes with us, I might get overtime from work or something, and when that money hits the account, if we don't immediately give it a mission, or if we immediately don't name that money or tell it where to go, the infamous line in our house is, the account must have ate it up. Meaning that we left it in the account for too long, and sooner or later we nickel and dimed ourselves out of that extra money, and now it's no longer there. And we're scratching our heads like, what happened to the money? Now that you're ready to make your budget, what we like to do is we like to start at the top of the page with the necessities. We're believers, so we believe in tithing, so giving 10% of our income to our local church. And then after that, we take away our housing expenses, take away our food, transportation to get back and forth to work, stuff like that. And then you move on to, people that you owe money to, if you owe anybody money, we don't owe anybody money. But you move on to your credit cards, or if you got a car note, stuff like that, and then you start listing those things, and then now you got your budget.
And the key to a realistic budget is don't leave anything out. So I know when we sit down every month to build our monthly budget, we always talk about what do we have coming up.
Yeah.
So this month was the month that we need to renew our registration on one of our cars. So we had to put that in the budget. If we didn't put that in the budget,
that's $150.
Yeah,
that's
just went up
unaccounted
this
for.
year.
Yeah.
And having a zero-based budget, you want to make sure that you include everything that you expect to come out that month, because you've given everything a name.
Mm-hmm.
So if you forgot something, that means you have to take it from somewhere else, and most likely it's going to be one of your financial goals.
Yeah.
Your financial goals are always going to feel the brunt of you leaving something out of your budget.
Yeah, messing up on your budget. So if like our son, he gets his haircut. Was supposed to be every 2 weeks, but sometimes I forget to make the appointment. And he's walking around looking like he got a Brillo pad on his head.
No, he got my curls.
But he gets his haircut every 2 weeks, and that costs about $20-$25. Mm-hmm. And you think about it, if we forget to put something like that in our budget, I mean, it might be small, $20-$25, but over the course of a month, that's $50 a month. $600 in a year. That stuff starts to add up. And like you said, if you forget to put that stuff in there, that's $50 a month. Well, if I forgot to put that in there, I'll take a little bit from the grocery bill, the grocery budget to take care of his haircut. Well, now the grocery bill's short. So now you take money from somewhere else, and like you said, before you know it, you've taken money away from your goals.
Or you'll get a ping from your bank, your online banking, saying, "Oh, your accountant's under $100." You're like, don't we have HOA or something else about to come out? Yeah. So it's like it can't be $100 in there.
Yeah,
it's not enough. So I'll go through the account and try and look and see if there's something in there that I can blame Alfred. Like, oh, I see Chipotle. You was overspending. that's why we all budget. Oh, most of the time it's both of us though.
Yeah. So there has been times where we look at the account and it's not looking like we're supposed to be. So I'll send her a text like, hey, we gotta reconcile this account to make sure everything is on track to meet our budget or hit the goals we had set for our budget. So
most of the time when we get those text messages, we done blown the budget, and that means we have to transfer from savings or take it from other places. So that's why it's so important to stay on budget and make a realistic budget and don't leave anything out.
So after you've done all this stuff, you've tracked your expenses, you put your budget on a sheet or whatever method you did. Now is a part where you cannot get lazy. Now is a part where you have to start tracking your spending. You have to now start keeping track of where you're at with your budget. Are you on pace to make your budget, or are you going to be behind on your budget?
Yeah, so basically you'll be comparing the numbers in your budget to what you actually spend.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I do at work.
It's very important because anybody can make a plan. They can write a plan out and come up with this whole game plan, this elaborate scheme. The most important is the execution. Yes. I think Mike Tyson said it better. Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Mm-hmm. So it's like, can you execute this plan when it's uncomfortable, when you don't feel like sticking to the budget? Are you going to hold up to what you put out on paper?
And I know I've said it a lot, but it's very important. This is why we mentioned setting financial goals first, because this is what is going to keep you disciplined when you don't feel like it. You're not always going to be motivated, but that's when you have to be disciplined. Yeah,
it's like going to the gym. It's like, you're not going to always feel like getting up and going to the gym, but in order to get those results, to get that summer body, you got to go and, get this workout in.
You gotta think about your goals. Think about that 6-pack. Think about that 2-piece.
Right. Another tip that you can do, you don't have to, but if this is something you want to accelerate and reach your goals quicker within your budget, is to either increase your income, whether you can work overtime, get a side job, a second job, drive Uber, something. That's one way to increase income to help you meet your goals and help you to create extra money within your budget. Another thing you can do is just simply decrease your expenses. So if you can look through your budget and you find things like cable or a gym membership that you don't use,
cut it.
cut it off. If it's something like that, then you can decrease those expenses, and now you have more money in your budget that helps you get to your goals quicker.
Because decreasing expenses is a lot easier to do than increasing income.
Yeah, because not everybody has a schedule or the opportunity to increase their income. And if you can increase your income and decrease your expenses, more power to you. That's even better.
We know from experience that budgeting can be really hard, really difficult. But we just want to encourage you that you can do this. Keep your financial goals in mind, and don't be discouraged if the first couple of months you run into issues or roadblocks in budgeting. Just dust yourself off and try again.
Well, ain't that what Aaliyah said?
Start over, learn from your mistakes, and incorporate that into the next month.
The first time you make your budget, you might have forgot to add something in there, and it's like, oh man, I forgot to add the tolls or something. Mm-hmm. So the next time to add that in there. So don't get discouraged that your budget was off a little bit. It usually takes about 3 months for you to actually get it down pat. Like for us, we can actually sit down and do our budget in probably about 15 minutes for the next month, because we've been doing it for so long and we've got it so fine tuned to where we just hey, what's coming up this month that wasn't for, on the budget for last month. Mm-hmm. And if it's nothing, it pretty much stays the same. And then lastly, we just want to leave you with this. Remember that budget is not a bad thing. It's just simply you telling your money where to go instead of you trying to figure out where it went. Remember, just change your thinking, change your mindset as it relates to the word budget. If you like to have fun, you like to go out and do stuff with your friends, budget for that. Mm-hmm. So that way you don't feel like, budget is so constricting, it's restricting, you can't do anything in your budget. Just remember that.
I think when people hear the word budget, the first thing they think of is restriction.
Right, that ain't sexy.
If I'm on a budget, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Whereas it's the complete opposite. Yeah. If you budget your money, if you budget everything that you already have planned, you're going to have comfort in knowing that you have money to cover what you're trying to do. Yeah. And your bills are paid, and you're on track to hitting your financial goals. Right. So it's win in every area. I'm YOLO on a budget. Yeah. And I'm hitting my financial goals.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. The budget just allows you to spend the money without regretting what you purchase.
Yeah, going on vacation and taking your rent money and coming home and like, what I'm gonna do? You're not even gonna be able to relax.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
At least with the budget, you'll be able to like go to the beach with your hair down and really be carefree, because them auto withdrawals are gonna hit and there's gonna be money to cover them.
Right. Let me tell you something. Food tastes so much better when it's already paid for. And that's basically, we got groceries in the house. Mm-hmm. The bills are paid. I got my spending money. She got her spending money. She can go buy shoes or do whatever she want to do with hers. And it feels good knowing that we don't have to worry about something outside of the budget.
Mm-hmm. You're giving.
Yeah, giving. All that stuff is actually in the budget. So that's the thing about making a realistic budget. Make sure you add everything you can think of that you spend money on. Add that. Mm-hmm. So that way you don't feel like your budget is restricting you. Mm-hmm. And that way, it's more sustainable. You can keep it up for a long time.
If you put $25 a week on food and you need $100, I mean, how long are you gonna be able to eat noodles and Vienna sausages to stay under your $25 budget? It's not
Vienna
fun.
Sausage.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to hit your financial goals, but be realistic.
I'm not eating no Vienna sausages. Just not.
Okay, spam.
Okay, y'all. Thanks for hanging with the Joneses. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for hanging with us. See y'all next week. Peace.